Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing, starting off with some mostly sunny conditions out there this morning and continuing with a breezy northeasterly wind, currently sitting just below wind advisory criteria, but we'll have a good chance of seeing a wind advisory at least as we go through the first half of the day today. Otherwise, expecting dry conditions, and we could see a period of some mostly cloudy conditions for the morning hours, and then we should see some partly cloudy conditions as we go through the remainder of the day. Take a look at the current surface analysis. We have that area of high pressure over New England that's keeping those onshore winds continuing through the day, and we'll start to see that area of high pressure migrate off to the east and then continue to migrate south as we go over the coming days. That's going to slowly start to shift those winds to become more southerly as we get later into the weekend. That's when we're going to start to see a warm up and get some above average temperatures. But if we look at current conditions this morning, just a few clouds around 1,200 feet, a few clouds at 9,000 feet. Winds out of the northeast sustained around 16 knots, gusting up to 22 knots. Seeing a temperature of 49 degrees and relative humidity is at 74%. If we take a look at our current visible satellite, we can see mostly sunny skies across the local region, some additional cloud cover off to the west and northwest. We'll see some of that mid-level cloud continue to stream into our area as we move through the day today. And with those northeast breezes picking up as we go through the morning, we do have a chance of seeing a low cloud ceiling develop with a marine layer as we get into the late morning hours, but should see that start to dissipate as we get into the afternoon. If we look at the short-term high-resolution model, again, as we play out through the rest of the day today, we'll see dry conditions, not expecting any precipitation or lightning, with just that chance of seeing that marine layer building in through the area. Otherwise, we'll have below average temperatures with pretty quiet weather, but we'll continue with those breezy conditions through most of the day today. And then as we go into the evening time frame, we'll see partly cloudy conditions early on, then we'll see increasing clouds as we go overnight and into the start of the day on Saturday, as we have a warm front that will be lifting through the region, mainly west of the local area, but that will bring some cloud cover through the area as we continue through the day on Saturday. No precipitation expected with that boundary, but we'll slowly start to see a more southerly component to the wind on Saturday, but it looks like it's going to still be slightly onshore, and with that addition of cloud cover, it's going to be a couple degrees cooler than expected, but still back up closer to seasonable temperatures as opposed to what we'll see today. But going through the day Saturday, mainly just clouds around, and that continues as we go into Saturday evening, and as that boundary lifts north of the area, we'll see some shower activity off to the north, and we'll see a very slight chance any of those showers make it into the local area, so a very slight chance of seeing maybe an isolated light shower drifting south to the local area, but not looking very likely, looking like a less than 10% chance of that occurring. And as we go into the day on Sunday, we'll pick up that more of a southerly component, slowly shifting more south-southwesterly as we get to the start of the day on Sunday. We'll start off with some clouds around, and then we'll see it continue decreasing clouds as we move through the day, becoming mostly sunny, and we'll see actually above average temperatures by the time we get into the afternoon on Sunday, with a nice warming trend moving in for the beginning of next week. So if we look at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, continue with those colors for our winds at or above 25 knots, looking at an orange risk this morning and dropping down to a yellow risk as we get into the afternoon. So good chance we see a wind advisory for our morning hours, possibly lingering into the first part of the afternoon, as we do expect those winds out of the northeast to east-northeast, sustained around 12 to 17 knots and gusting up to 24 knots. And as we get into the afternoon, we'll start to see those peak gusts coming down to around 20 knots by late afternoon, and seeing more of an easterly component to the wind. We do have that chance of seeing a ceiling develop around 1,500 feet this morning, with that onshore breeze and that marine layer possibly coming in. Otherwise, we'll just see mainly some scattered mid-level clouds around, and see those diminish a bit as we go into the late afternoon and into the first part of the evening. We'll keep an east-southeasterly wind, slightly breezy, until we get past the midnight time frame. That's when we're going to see an additional mid-level clouds start to build in, as well as some upper-level clouds moving into the area. The breeze will weaken slightly, but with those clouds, we're only expecting a low to drop around 45 degrees, which is just below average for this time of year. And then getting into the start of the day on Saturday, we'll see mostly cloudy conditions, and we'll start to see those winds become slightly gusty again, um, setting up for a slightly breezy day. But otherwise, tide's running about a half a foot above normal. In our weekend forecast, we'll see mostly cloudy to overcast conditions as we move through the day on Saturday. It's going to keep the temperatures just getting up to around 60 degrees, so about 5 or 6 degrees below average for this time of year. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions, but not expecting the peak gusts like we'll see today or yesterday. So expecting green conditions for our weather risk. Going into Saturday evening, continue with mostly cloudy to overcast conditions. That very slight chance of a light isolated shower moving through the area, again looking like a 10% or less chance of that happening. So overall, keeping green conditions for our weather risk. And we'll see seasonable temperatures with a low around 50 degrees. And then going into Sunday, we start to see that warming trend. We'll see mostly cloudy conditions at start in the day, and again those decreasing clouds as we move through the day, becoming mostly sunny later in the day. We'll see some slightly breezy conditions on Sunday as well, but that wind will be more out of the south-southwest. So we'll have a warming effect, and we'll see that high up around 73 degrees, but green conditions for our weather risk overall. That's going to wrap up the 8:15 Daily Operations Weather Briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.